They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shits. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Raj on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
He is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIB in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out.
See, it's 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibe. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. Where you fuck, you gon' think I'm Mike Grable the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in peace.
Let me
You should
teach
know
you
I
how to
bleed
vibe.
more. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a drone on my hip, I let it out to explore. They
Let
say
me
the
teach you
ops
how
on
to
the way.
vibe.
I see one, I know it's more. They just ran inside a building, my EMP gon' deploy. Make a panic, play support. Crypto going manic, they tryna figure out how I do assault damage. Real just mark the surroundings, I know they can't stand it. Morosky sending out his ghosts and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high grounds to get a overstanding.
Let me
Now you
teach you
from
how
a
to
distance
vibe.
and your partners, they done left you stranded. Damn. You know you headed to the lobby, right? Sorry for your awful fight. I admit it was easy. Get you some practice or you always die. I know you doing that ping thing. They gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown shield. It's been 7 minutes in the fucking game. I'm devoted. Hit you with the devotion, hear it wind up, quick motion. Now I'm headed with the wind to your partners, but I'm focused. See, GOAT just hit that beast on the hunt. Ghosts is ghosts, we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
So you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shits.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
We see we got Raj on the scopes. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Enemy is not on me. Now tell me, what do you see?
We send the vibes on the nation. LIB in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out the mud.
Let me teach you how to vibe.
Yo, yo, yo. Roll call. Ken was always first. Bad take sheet. Demetrius. Juan Carlos Tyler. Chronic Fiend with the double like. Big Jeff. Aaron C.
Let me teach you
we
how
don't
to
care about the
vibe.
Ravens. Y'all choked last night and cost us a 4th round pick. I hope y'all have to forfeit all y'all draft picks. What's good? Everybody on Facebook, tap in to the daily content. Everybody on YouTube, daily podcast going up. Picture in picture. Make sure y'all hit like, comment, subscribe. If you watching on the purple, if you watching on Twitch, Amazon
Let me
Prime,
teach
can
you
sub
how
to
to
the channel
vibe.
free once a month. It costs you nothing. And then if you're not watching there, you should be watching on Twitch. No
Let me
ads,
teach you
up
how
to
to
50
vibe.
emotes. Free, just being a follower to the channel. Picture in picture can still do things in the background with your phone.
Let me teach you how to
Tap
vibe.
in. He said how the 8-8-1 going. I mean, y'all had a losing season. How's the losing season going with one of the most expensive rosters in all of football? Got to be disappointing. Commanders have a top 5 pick. Giants have a top 5 pick, and the Cowboys didn't make the playoffs. How sad and tragic is that for y'all? He said Ravens come join y'all in upside down. Yeah, and all the pundits says fire Harbaugh, trade Lamar. Yeah, right. They just need to be healthy next year. It wasn't their time. Sometimes you can admit that in sports and say it wasn't their time. Lamar missed almost 2 months. They still found their way back to the playoffs. And then after the Steelers missed the extra point, they miss a chip shot field goal and don't go to the playoffs. So it just wasn't the year for the Ravens like it wasn't the year for the Chiefs. Said Pete Carroll got fired. Yeah, Pete Carroll's still a Hall of Fame coach. It just sometimes there's nothing that you can do to fix some situations. The Raiders is one of those situations. Suave, ATL, Dre Day. Do not go after Matt Nagy. But we can do our due diligence. I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Like, none of these, like, let's get Stefanski. Let's not get Nagy. how about let's interview them all. Whoever is the best candidate for the job, whoever interviews the best, has the best plan and the best coaching staff laid out gets the job. Like, that's just how it works. I don't think it's a such thing as a home run hire. You just hire the best candidate and you put it all together. You have to have the right draft, the right free agency, the right people in the locker room. You got to have the right head coach with the right staff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes all those things to be working on the same page for it to work out. DB comedy 2 times. What's popping? We not disappointed. We know what the problem was. When you
Let me teach
don't
you
know
how
what
to
the problem
vibe.
is when everything goes south. I don't think y'all know what the problem is. Let me hear it from the Cowboy fans. What's the problem in Dallas? KT2, the GOAT in the building. Yeah, we're gonna address that question. What's the best job that's open? We're gonna address that in just a second. Y'all went outside. Browns coach Stefanski. It says still Dallas Cowboys for life 2 times. What up?
Let me teach you how to
He
vibe.
said Jerry Jones. I don't think it's all Jerry Jones. I think the culture he set got something to do with the Dallas Cowboys, but I'd like to hear it. Come on, Dallas Cowboys. Since y'all all know why y'all haven't been to the conference championship since 1996, I'd like to hear it. Defensive staff playing out of scheme, no pressure. So that's the reason why y'all had a losing record this year. What if your defensive coach came and said you have the highest paid quarterback, 2 of the highest paid receivers, and you traded one of the faces of football at edge rusher? What if he said that? What if they said, what if the defensive coordinator said you spend all your money on offense? I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are the NFC Bengals. Get a lot of money in Joe Burrow, a lot on Jamar Chase, and a lot on T. Higgins, and you didn't pay attention to the defense. That's not just a coach thing. That's a culture thing. That's a top to bottom thing. It's not just like if y'all went out and got the best defensive coordinator in the world. If you spend all your money on offense, that doesn't guarantee that your defense is going to be good. It's usually how it works. Usually when teams spend all their money on offense, their defense sucks. Cowboys need a GM, 30 plus years. Meeks need everything. It's called a bad organization. No, I mean, it's not a bad organization because the Cowboys and the Chiefs have the most primetime games. Cowboys Jerry Jones is making money, so it's not a bad financial organization for Jerry Jones. It's just far as the way that they approach football is Cowboys like the flash. So I think I really think that the Cowboys can fire their DC. Y'all could pick the DC that y'all want, and then next year it's not gonna make any difference. If you got 2 top 10 receivers in the NFL in an $80 million against the cap quarterback, at some point you got to figure it out that you can't spend that much money on offense and then expect that
Let me teach
the
you how to
defense
vibe.
is gonna be good. It just don't work that way. He said Cowboys need Jerry to retire.
Let me teach
They're
you how
gonna
to
win.
vibe.
Cowboys just selling a brand. Rent due in the building. Cliff, what's popping? I seen the comedy. Tried to make sure I liked it wherever I seen it at. What's good with you? Hope you're getting a good start to the new year. Also, got to get rid of Dak. Dak Prescott played out of his mind this year. It's just that if you paying him that much money against the cap is the part that hurts you. They got so much money invested in certain spots, but it's like you got to spread that thing out, man. Dante to the Raiders, Fernando to the Jets. Well, I mean, the Raiders got to beat a division rival and get the first pick. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. What is the best coaching job available? Let me hear from y'all side. Cowboys probably go after Denard. I mean, Denard Wilson, if y'all watch my reel that I put out this morning early, which was part of the podcast of the YouTube. Make sure y'all going to the YouTube videos that drop every morning. If y'all don't get a chance for the shop, or if y'all do get a chance, just go in there and like and comment on those YouTube videos. It'll help me out a lot. I kind of went over there that Denard Wilson, out of all the people that Brian Callahan hired originally, was the only one that was able to make something shake, even when he was dealt a bad hand. They said out of his mind with a lose. That's what I'm saying. Like, the Cowboys can score 40 in the defense, and the other team score 41. The Cowboys can score 50, the other team score 51. Like, you got to be a little bit more balanced. They said Facebook is still bugged out. It's always going to be bugged out. They said it's got to be the Raiders. Yeah, I mean, like, do they want Dante? Does Dante come out? Does he go back to school? Do they want Fernando? Hendricks, what up? They said Falcons open yet? Yeah, Falcons is open. Bowers, Genty, and the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, and then you got Geno Smith over there sucking up a bunch of cap space. That's the elephant in the room, is the financial situations that some of these teams
Let
are
me
in.
teach you how to vibe.
So let's get into the conversation. Raiders have a lot of cap space. They got Geno Smith sitting there, who's due $37 million next year. You fired Pete Carroll. You have a young core on offense. On defense, it's all over the place. Does Max Crosby want out? Does Max Crosby want to stay? The Cardinals, you got a top 3 pick. Not a lot of cap space, but you got some pieces. And Kyler Murray is due like $38 million guaranteed next year. Titans, $100 million plus in cap space, league leading. The number 4 pick, a bunch of extra picks in Cam Ward. The Giants don't have much cap space, but they got a lot of pieces. Malik Neighbors will be back next year. You got a lot of edge rushers. Probably Kayvon Thibodeau will be on the market. And Jackson Dart coming back. And then if you're the Browns, just fire Stefanski. Minus $12 million in cap space. They do have 2 first-round picks in Shedeur Sanders. And then the Falcons are negative $4 million against the cap. You got to figure out what you're going to do with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. And they don't have a first-round pick come next year because the Rams own the Atlanta Falcons first-round pick. He said the only thing about the Falcons is they don't have a first-round pick, and you got to figure out what you're going to do with Cousins and Penix. Kyle Pitts will be a free agent. So, I mean, they do have talent, but is it trending up in their division? Like, I don't think they're the most talented team in their division, and you don't have a first-round pick, and you don't have any cap space. So, Kyle Pitts is more than likely probably on the market. So that's why I wouldn't like Atlanta. Zay, what up? $36 million, $15 million bonus if he's on the roster. Yeah, if I think it's March 15th or something. If he's still on the roster, he gets the extra bonus. I don't got the exact particulars, but I mean that's a lot of money due. So if you're the Cardinals, you got to figure out what you're gonna do with Kyler Murray. If you're the Browns, you have 2 first-round picks. Somebody's got to give out there. And then if you're the Falcons, like, you got to make up your mind with Penix or Kirk Cousins. You can't have a first-round pick and a $50 million quarterback. You just can't have both. And then if you're the Raiders, you're not in a bad position. You got the first overall pick. You got cap space. You just need to move Geno Smith, but I don't think there's a way you could. The way he played this season, I just don't see a way for you to be able to move Geno Smith. They said, are the Ravens going to be able to re-sign Isaiah Likely? I don't know. Isaiah Likely is probably going to be due $10 million plus. Kyle Pitts is probably going to get $10 million plus. I don't know how much Chig is going to go after. But athletic tight ends like that in today's game is going to be wanting a premium. They said trade. Who's trading for Geno though, Justin? Like this one thing that y'all have to do when we talking sports. We can't just blurt something out and say trade Geno, Because who's trading for Geno Smith and trading draft capital and paying him $38 million next year? Like somebody has to want to, like either you're going to pay the cap, you're going to pay him and let somebody else have him, or like what team do you know is trading to get Geno Smith? I mean, he's got 1 year left on his contract. He's due $38 million guaranteed. Who is trading to get Geno Smith? You know, like that's a situation where they're going to have to cut him and just eat the whole, eat everything. You see what I'm saying? Like that's, so that 100 million would immediately go down to 60 million. You see what I'm saying? Like that, like the Titans got 105, and if they cut Snead and Ridley, depending on what time of year they cut them, Titans go up to like 120. This 100 is for fool's gold. It's really like 60, because you're gonna have to eat 38 million if you get rid of Geno Smith. The University of West Virginia would trade for him. A pay cut? How can you take a pay cut when you have 1 year guaranteed? Like what? Like you being back to Mr. Bad Take again. You can't just say like, hey man, you got 1 year guaranteed money. Nobody wants to trade for you. Take a pay cut. Like, bro, if you cut me, you have to give me $38 million to go home. Like, what world is this? If your job got to pay you, even if you don't go to work, they're not going to send you home. They're going to sit there and try to get some money out of you. Giants dumb, dropping all the way to the 5th pick. They did it 2 years in a row, Month. And it was to the Cowboys.
Let me teach you how to
So
vibe.
on one hand, it's like you give the Cowboys a losing season. On the other hand, you were guaranteed to get the 2nd pick. Like, you know, so I don't know. Month. That one's a little sus. Evaluating Alec Ayomaner's rookie season with the Tennessee Titans. I mean, a 4th round pick, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 40 receptions. That's pretty good value out of a 4th round pick, if you ask me. Statman, went the quarterback from Ole Miss for the Falcons, no questions asked. Okay, so you want Trinidad Chambliss. You don't have a 1st round pick. You have a $50 million veteran quarterback that's still on the roster, and a 1st round pick quarterback that's injured, that's working his way through rehab, and you're minus $5 million against the cap, and Kyle Pitts needs money. So make it make sense to me that they're gonna draft Trinidad Chambliss with their 2nd round pick if he comes out and he makes it to y'all pick. Definitely not cut Geno. If I was him, I'd be happy. Exactly. You get paid in, you get to go play backup somewhere else better that picks you up. I can see them trading Kyler and trading Geno to Arizona, giving them picks. Arizona rides Geno. That doesn't make sense. If I was going to spend $38 million, why would I not spend $38 million on Kyler Murray instead of Geno Smith? That doesn't really make sense. That like, if it like, bro, like that, you fired your coach. You're going to get rid of Kyler Murray. Like, just bring Jacoby Brissett back if that's the case. Like, what is Geno Smith going to do that Jacoby Brissett ain't doing? That doesn't make sense. He said Giants is the best head coach opening. You got the pieces. Giants is decent. I would say if I had my pick, I'd probably pick Titans or Giants. If they laid me out a plan, what would I do with Geno? But I mean, the Giants front office is also a bunch of dumbasses though too, man. You got to keep that in. Like, y'all front office is pretty fucking stupid. So I don't know. I mean, y'all front office damn near is probably worse than ours right now. Like y'all front office like has surpassed the Tennessee Titans with incompetence. At least now that the people that didn't know what they was doing in Nashville has admitted they just need to let Mike Berganza run the show. I don't know if Arizona and have to eat the $38 million and cut him out right. The best thing for Arizona would be finding somebody to take Kyler Murray on now. just lie and say, hey man, his foot was really never hurt. We just wanted to sit him down, and who wants him? Now, to be honest, the Colts might be a team that like the Colts haven't paid Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is not under contract. Riley Leonard is probably not their quarterback of the future. I don't know what they're gonna do with Richardson. I mean, the Colts could be a team that say, we'll send Anthony Richardson in a pick, and they'll pay Kyler Murray until his contract up. That's a legitimate, honest thought. If you're the Colts, you would have to think about that. Like, let me send Richardson to the Cardinals, get him a fresh start for his last year, and then take on Kyler Murray's money and see what you can do with Kyler Murray for a year. And then if it's all over, pump and dump and then draft again. Geno would have to be a mid-season trade if one of the quarterbacks go down. Man, if your quarterback go down and you need a quarterback, and you're gonna take on the second half of Geno Smith's contract that's guaranteed all the way out, you might as well just be tanking for a draft pick. Yeah, it's not. That's why I say if Trinidad come, it's no guarantee that more is coming out of Oregon or Ty Simpson out of Alabama. Penix ain't led Pitts. Yep, Penix ain't it. Let Pitts go. Kirk contract is over. It's not over. Kirk contract don't have guaranteed money, but he still got $45 million a year for 2 years left on it. You see, like, you got to make a decision, and you don't have a first round pick, so it's like the Falcons is kind of fucked, bro. Like, you just have to admit that. Like, I don't think that Michael Penix is not it. I just think the Falcons never made up their mind what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you let Pitts go, then it's just Drake London and Bijan out there. Still, like, I don't know, man. The Falcons was an attractive team. What's attractive about the Falcons? They don't have any money. They got 2 quarterbacks, a first round draft pick, and a guy that's going to get $45 million next year. Kyle Pitts, they probably not going to be able to afford him, and they don't have a first round pick. What's attractive about the Falcons? Barbershop Lows, what up? Only team they need a QB is
Let me
Jets,
teach you
but
how
at
to
the same
buy.
time, we don't know what they doing. No, I mean, more teams need a quarterback than the Jets. Obviously, the Cardinals are done with Kyler Murray, and they want to go in a different direction. Obviously, the Raiders, Pete Carroll is out, and Geno Smith is not the quarterback of their future. So these 2 teams need a quarterback. Stefanski is out. They probably ride Shador next year. They still have Dylan Gabriel ass sitting there. I don't know. It's more than one team they need a QB, bro. I'll say that. He said that's a fact. I don't disagree with you there. He said Daniel Jones is getting paid. By who? He only had a 1-year deal. It was $14 million guaranteed. He broke his fibula, and he had a major leg injury. Like, bro, like, you know how, like, he broke his leg and he had a muscle tear. Like, Daniel Jones, who's paying him coming off of that? He double dipped the chip. Like, Daniel Jones' timetable for return, you know, it's no guarantee he even play next year. So who's signing a quarterback that's not playing next year, that's not under contract? Take Kenneth Murray back. Nah, I told y'all we finessed y'all when y'all took that trade. Now, if you just put him out there and tell him to just go tackle somebody, Kenneth Murray is him. If you need him to think, react, and guard somebody in space, man, he got a question mark on his head. He said, if you're tired of your fandom going to waste with poverty franchises, bad coaching, and no upstairs guidance, come on down to the Rams. I mean, that's right on time, Los. Because guess what? The Rams have the Falcons' first round pick. Look, Rams in the playoffs. They got a Hall of Fame quarterback. They got a really good coach. They got a young roster with limited veterans. The Rams are going to have a lot of cap space free. I think the Rams might have like 70, 80 million free in cap space. And they got 2 first round picks coming up this year. And it's a good chance they can make a run in the playoffs. Like, bro, like Rams is desirable. Atlanta Falcons is not desirable. We need to talk to our backup situation. I've been talking, like, bro, I spent the whole other day talking about that, and people in my comments was arguing with me. And I said, like, what was the whole deal that Callahan brought in Tim Boyle and Brandon Allen? I said, they should have got a veteran that could actually teach Cam something. And then somebody said, well, they got Trevor Siemian. Like, what is Trevor Siemian, Tim Boyle, and Brandon Allen teaching Cam Ward? What on earth could they possibly teach him? So, like, that was another one of the red flags from Callahan, is the people that he decided to come in and play backup to Cam Ward. It's supposed to be veterans that could help him learn the system. But, I mean, what could you learn from those 3 quarterbacks? No disrespect. Now, Will Levis comes back healthy. There's your quarterback too, but the odds is you want Will Levis to look good in camp and look good this summer, that somebody wants to take a shot at trading for him, the way the Cowboys did for Joe Milton. Now, Joe Milton got a 5th or 6th round pick. The Cowboys traded the Patriots for Joe Milton, so Joe Milton was a late round pick. Will Levis was the first pick in the 2nd round, so. You know, if somebody wants to send a 3rd or a 4th round pick over here for to the Tennessee Titans for Will Levis, there it is. But, you know, I've been on record saying it. Hey, listen, let me look and see if my boy is free. I don't know what the contract situation is with Marcus Mariota, but if Marcus Mariota is not under contract, I need to look and see. With the Commanders, I don't know if they have multiple years on Mariota. If Mariota is a free agent next year, the Tennessee Titans should really bring the maestro back home to Nashville as a backup. Yeah, he had a 1 year $8 million deal. Hey, listen, y'all heard it here first. Tennessee Titans, there's your backup quarterback. Get Brandon Allen out of here. Tim Boyle is gone. Get Trevor Siemian out of here. Will Levis, we love you, brother. You gonna ball out at your next stop, wherever they send you to. I got $8 million for Mariota to come end his career back in Nashville and help Cam Ward. A positive person, a person that know what it's like to be one of the top draft picks with a lot of pressure. A person that if Cam did miss time, there would be a capable backup that understands everything about the organization and what it should and is supposed to be. There it is. There's your backup, Dre. B Walker, what to do, player, man? They be on straight business. They don't do no emotional attachment. If you don't produce, you gone. Mariota would love to come back to Tennessee, and we would love to have him. That clip going up tomorrow, because you know somebody be trying to steal it. Man, I be seeing them going back and forth about who came up with stuff first in the Titans media. Man, everybody be stealing people's stuff, man. Journalists act like if they see something that they was the first one with it, like they just came up with something. A lot of journalists be good at information, but don't be entertaining at all. Now, then you have people that are not analytically inclined and don't have insider information, and they're not good journalists and then go to journalism school, that are entertaining. Somewhere in the middle, in between, like there's greatness. Somewhere in between, there's greatness. You feel me? But you know, to further that conversation, you know, I personally would say, depending on who the coach is, when we talking about best coaching job, me personally, I would say Titans, Giants, Raiders, not in no particular order. I think if the Cardinals do something smooth with Kyler Murray, I think, you know, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, there's some baseline to that team. The Browns have 2 first-round picks. You got to figure out that cap space situation. In the Falcons, I think with the way that the Panthers have built their team the way that the Buccaneers have ran that division, and the Saints with Kellen Moore look like they on the right track. Look like the Atlanta Falcons is training themselves. That they had a coach on a 4-game winning streak that they just got rid of, and the GM. So who knows what vision the Atlanta Falcons have for themselves and what direction they want to go. You know, it's the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta gonna Atlanta. Los, Bowler, Q, Lock Kick, Adam L, Justin. Appreciate everybody tapping in the shop, man. If y'all got any questions, this is what I came for, because you know Cam Ward injury got downgraded to where they're still keeping an eye on it, but it may not be as bad as they originally thought. And we praying for that. We hope for that. And then it's just this coaching carousel of watching Vance Joseph and Raheem Morris get interviews, and I'm like, I see the Vance Joseph. I mean, look at the Broncos defense. If you're talking about defensive minds, you know, but Raheem Morris, I don't get that one. If we talking about head coach, like I would rather interview Brian Flores, Saleh, Mentor, and Vance Joseph. And if we talking about offensive minds, I like Kubiak. I like to see obviously, you know, McCarthy and Nagy was gonna get interviews, but they just got to do a good job of looking at everybody's game plan. I personally would prefer that they don't get scared and try to look at another offensive minded coach, because you know when you think about LaFleur slipping through our hands and Arthur Smith, I don't know if he's a good offensive coach, but I don't know about him being the head coach in Nashville. Very interesting to see. You know, I want some fresh blood with a veteran coaching staff. That's what I would like to have. Like for longevity, not just saying that they bounce back next year and the Titans is playing 500 football or better. No, I want something that's gonna last for like the next 5 to 10 years of saying, yo, this is the coach for the Tennessee Titans for the next foreseeable future. It said, do I want Pete Carroll? No, Pete Carroll is 70 years old, bro. I don't want no old coach. I mean, the thing about a Pete Carroll or Mike McCarthy, like these guys already won Super Bowls, and they won them for organizations better than the Titans. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl in Green Bay and then coached in Dallas. Like, I don't know how much his motivation and fire is to come rebuild Nashville. You know, the same with Pete Carroll. Like Pete Carroll has won at USC, has won at Seattle, and then it didn't work out in on the Raiders. He's 70 years old. He's gonna come chew gum in Nashville. Like, what is his fire and motivation to win? That's why I like getting a young guy. You know, it's like you got somebody young with some fire. You know, I mean, look at Ben Johnson. They said he brought a physical camp in for them. Liam Cohen. You know, so some of these young coaches that's taking over teams and bringing a different approach and getting the best out of the young talent that they got. I don't want nobody who already been there and done there. You know, they did that with the free agents with L'Jarius Sneed. Dudes got a Super Bowl ring and $80 million. Like, what's his motivation to come lead a young cornerback room? That's how you end up with 17 different defensive backs in one season. They will be able to interview everyone after the playoffs, people who is in it. Yeah. But my thing is like this, is like, they've been knowing that they was going to hire a coach for 12 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, they demoted Callahan in the first month. Then the next 2 games was like lame duck games. So officially, since they fired him in week 6, they had 12 weeks to figure out, you know, to start eyeballing who they really wanted. I mean, you could watch a person up and down for 12 weeks and have a list of people that you feel good about. Like it shouldn't be casting this really wide net if you had 12 weeks to know. Some people didn't know up until the end of the season that they was going to fire their coach. Tennessee Titans fired. They thought about firing their coach in the offseason. They changed their mind. And then when the season started, they demoted him from play calling a month in and you just kind of seeing the writing on the wall. Dude don't make it back from Las Vegas, and he's fired. And then you got interim coach McCoy for 12 weeks, knowing that he wasn't the guy. You know, it's like, we appreciate what they done, but we known for 3 months that they're gonna hire somebody, and they should have been and done their homework by now. AP defense. Who's AP defense coordinator? Oh yeah, it's time for Pete Carroll to be sitting on that NFL Network desk. He need to be doing the Rex Ryan thing. Antonio Pierce. I wouldn't be mad if they had brought in Antonio Pierce as a D coordinator, because he's like a hard-nosed physical guy. To be honest, Denard Wilson and Bones Fossil, they did their jobs. Like, I could only imagine Denard Wilson got the best out of Jeff Simmons that anybody's ever got. He had a musical chairs on the defensive line, in that cornerback and safety. Cedric Gray had a breakout season. James Williams, they finally got the most out of him. Cody Barton led the team in interceptions. The linebacker room, which we thought was going to be the weakest room on the team, wound up being one of the strengths of the defense. So it's like, you know, you got to put that into account what Denard Wilson was able to get. And then, you know, for Bones Fossil to get a rookie to a Pro Bowl at returner, you know, it's like, you know, those guys did their job. They probably already knew who they wanted. They just wait until the end of the season. But I'm saying, like, the thing about it is, it's just like the college football season. When you know you're going to get rid of a guy for so long, then you have to be the best job too. Like the Titans have the most cap space. The Titans have a lot of draft picks. The Titans have high draft picks, but it's also the Titans. The coach got to want to come to Nashville. The free agents, no matter how big that check is, they agent is sitting there looking at them, going through endorsements and markets and saying they still got to want to come to Nashville. And that's the part you run into is, if you're a free agent and you like the limelight, you're going to go to New York first. If you a West Coast guy and you get to play in Las Vegas instead of playing in the South or the East Coast, you know, if you're an East Coast guy, you might want to play in New York. You know, it's just one of those things that you have to put that into account, that there's human beings who saying, where do I want to go? You know, and that coach have to say, I want to go to Nashville. You know, like that in these franchises, if you're looking at them, the Giants, the Browns, the Titans, all was picking at the top of the draft last year. Titans picked 1, Browns picked 2, and the Giants was right behind them. You know, and then we getting right into a similar situation where you start rotating and getting the same. One of these teams up there don't look like the rest of them. The Falcons is up there, but the Falcons don't have a first round pick. The Rams got their first round pick. You know, even though the player that they did get with that trade wound up being James Pierce Jr., the best edge rusher that came out this draft. So on that end, you know, you had to say, like, they probably feel like it was worth it, but probably thought they was gonna get more out of this season than what they got. Buddha, the next head coach for the Titans. If they send the check, I'm in there. I'm ready to go face the media. Where is PK, TD, and Jim Wyatt and all them? Come on. But do me a favor though, y'all, man. I know I could be ornery sometimes about you know, the way I respond and especially how I was cutting the Discord off. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I've been putting a lot of work into the offline content, you know, dropping these YouTube videos daily. You know, I feel like, you know, we've been getting better and addressing things and being more consistent. I cannot stress to y'all how much I need for y'all to like and comment on those YouTube videos and on these live videos and this offline content. Because if I look in the Discord and I see a bunch of people commenting on the topics that we make YouTube videos for and lives for and offline content, and people will comment in the Discord and argue in the Discord and talk in the Discord, but on the actual lives, on the actual posts, and on the actual YouTubes, people will have conversations in the Discord about something on the YouTube without liking and commenting on the YouTube. I just need that little bit because it can really help the channel go up to where we can start getting some sponsor streams and some stuff and do a whole lot more with the content. But until then, I'm gonna continue to be consistent and put it out there. Do we know how much cap space the Buccaneers and the Saints got? Saints have minus $23 million. And the Buccaneers are in the middle of the pack. Let's see. Tampa Bay is number 17th in the league in available cap space. So Tampa will have $34 million. I think Mike Evans is a free agent. But Saints got minus $23 million. So I think that's why they traded Shaheed. Because Shaheed will be a free agent. I don't think they would have had the money. So the worst teams is the Chiefs at minus 43 million. The Vikings are at minus 29 million. Saints are minus 23 million. Dallas minus 22 million. The Dolphins minus 6 million. Green Bay minus 4 million. Then the Browns. So, you know, there's some teams that any team that's like Falcons, Buffalo, Cleveland, Green Bay, like all them is broke. Chicago is down there, you know, because you still got to have money free to re-sign your rookies too. So, you know, that's why I say, like, when you look at a team like the Rams got $93 million in cap space, 2 first-round picks, and mostly their team is mostly young guys. The Jets, as bad as they look, you know, the Jets have multiple first-round picks, and they got $95 million in cap space. They got a blank slate. Look at the Chargers. Chargers have $110 million in cap space, and they got a lot of young talent. You know, so the top in cap space, the Titans got the most. Raiders next, Chargers, Jets, Rams, Commanders have 90 million free. Finally, the Bengals have some money. The Bengals got 77 million. Steelers doing good. Steelers got 65 million, followed by another good team, the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots. So you think about the Patriots, Seahawks, Steelers, Rams, Chargers, playoff teams that got almost $100 million in cap space. And some of those teams got multiple first-round picks. So those are the type of things you look for when you talk about a franchise that know what they're doing. You winning, you got cap space, and you got draft capital, and you turning your roster in the right direction. Who do I want as a backup quarterback? Marcus Mariota. Mariota is getting $8 million
Let
for
me
the
teach you
Commanders.
how to vibe.
Bring Marcus Mariota, the maestro. Bring him home. He'll be 32, 33 years old. A capable guy, a positive guy, a good locker room guy. Bring Mariota home. Buccaneers trade Evans and God. How can you trade somebody that's a free agent? Justin, you finna overtake Sheed as Mr. Bad Take. If he's a free agent, you can't trade him. And I don't think the Buccaneers would ever trade Mike Evans. He said, number one, put some respect on y'all name. Hey, man, I was just praising your organization, but we do want Kubiak and a couple of them free agents y'all can't pay next year. I personally would like the Titans
Let me teach you how to
interview
vibe.
Kubiak, but they can't. He said Pete Carroll need to go to the NFL Network. Put a suit on. Pete Carroll need to put a suit on and get on the TV broadcast. Nick Fonza, what up? What's crazy is we in the coaching cycle that they hired Callahan, they could have hired Seattle's coach too. McDonald, but see, McDonald went to Seattle, and then we wound up getting Denard Wilson as our DC. And Denard Wilson was, before Bones got there. I feel like Denard Wilson did a good job. Said I have more trust in the 49ers. I did, and still do. Bro, like dog, the 49ers lost everybody and still made their way to that game. Like, they're still in the playoffs. Like, Nick, you have to admit, if the Seattle Seahawks had Sam Darnold go down, give me your best edge rusher, give me your best linebacker, give me multiple receivers, give me your tight ends, bro. Like, what the 49ers did, I told you, I have more faith in the 49ers front office than I do any of those teams out there. I do. There's no team in the NFL that could have went through the injuries they went through and still had a chance to play for the conference, for their division title. They can Zoom call him. No, we want to do a real interview. They say he totally playing. You knew I was finna get on your neck too. DeShenrick, what up? I don't know if they have a buy for the playoffs for him to be available. They would have to wait. They said it's John Lynch all the way. I mean, like, what they was able to do this year with no IU, no Pearsall, no Bosa, no, like they rotated guys. They really had a next man up mentality. So that's why I said, like, I doubled down on it. Like, some organizations I trust to get it done, and some I don't. What I did say, I was like, Seattle's the X factor. Like, can Sam Darnold repeat and do what he did last year? They got rid of Geno for Sam Darnold. They got rid of DK and brought in Cooper Kupp. They made JSN the man. I told y'all I had met JSN's brother, Kanan, and he was like, man, my brother gonna da-da-da. He was saying JSN and Witherspoon was gonna be the two goons on Seattle. That's what he told me last year. And I had to give him his credit for that. You know, he was dead on. Let Debo go at the right time. But I told y'all before that happened, I said Debo Samuels would be the first person to go if it was me. Because Debo is like a football player, but I mean, like, Jawan Jennings and Ayuk was better receivers to me than him. And then Ayuk just crashed out. I don't know. I wanted Mariota to be the guy, but in my opinion, I'm leaving Mariota in the past. I think a good backup would be Case Keenum or Sam Howell. I disagree wholeheartedly. What the hell can Case Keenum and Sam Howell do that Mariota can't? If you want a guy to come in that's going to be a mentor, a good team guy, a team first person, like, I would bring Mariota back as a good locker room guy, a veteran backup quarterback that understands everything. He was the mentor with Jaden Daniels. Like, why wouldn't he be the same in Tennessee? The fuck would I want Sam Howell in Nashville for? The fuck has Sam Howell done for me to be like, yo, I don't want Mario to be the backup who understands his role, but I want Sam Howell. The hell is he gonna learn from Sam Howell? Case Keenum, I give you a little bit more closer to, but nah. Because it's not like you bringing him to be a starter. You bringing him to be a good locker room veteran mentor that's gonna help him grow. Whose skill set is more closer to Cam Ward between those three quarterbacks? Is Mariota. JSN over DK? Yeah. JSN is a goon. Like, I mean, the moves that Seattle made was right. They got rid of Geno and paid Sam the same exact money. They got rid of DK and let the Steelers pay him, and then they brought in Cooper Kupp and Shaheed and then Horton. So it's like the moves that the people they let go for who they replaced them with wind up working out. I don't know what happened to Ayuk. It's like he don't even want to play football. He's more worried about traveling with his homeboys. It's called money. He said that backup for Fred Warner needs to be starting next. If Fred Warner is healthy, Fred Warner is the starter, bro. I don't give a damn what they did this season. Like, Fred Warner is the best inside backer in football. If he come back healthy, it's Fred Warner's job. Unless somebody want to offer you a crazy trade for Fred Warner, but I don't see that. Mariota was so bad for the Falcons. I got a different opinion. Because you had Arthur Smith bringing in Mariota to rekindle some magic to be a starting quarterback. Where is this logic y'all have when you said Cam Ward is the first overall pick? He is the starter. He is the QB1. Who do you want to be a backup? Who will help your locker room? Is it Marcus Mariota, or are you going to get fucking Case Keenum and Sam Howell? Nah, I don't know, man. Like, nobody say we getting Marcus Mariota to come back to be quarterback one, nigga. Like, you said backup quarterback, which means a good locker room guy, a guy who understands the city, a guy who understands his role, a guy who helped Jaden Daniels last year, who Jaden Daniels said, I wouldn't have been able to be that QB without Mariota. I don't know what the hell y'all asking yourselves. Like, just because Marcus Mariota wasn't QB1 in Atlanta, nigga, Penix and Kirk Cousins haven't been either. Won more games with Mariota than they did with Penix and Kirk Cousins. Bethune ain't starting over Fred. Yeah, he's not Fred Warner. Dynasty 2.0 starting. It's their best defense in the league. I don't know about that. They up there. I still take Houston defense. Broncos defense. It's some really good defenses in the league. Y'all one of them. I ain't gonna just say best. I think that Salah squeezing everything out of the young defenders. Yeah, I mean, y'all had Upton Stout out there starting. Arthur Smith. He's your boy. How is he my boy? How is Arthur Smith my boy? Nigga, when y'all got Arthur Smith, y'all came in the stream and said, yo, Buddha, what's up with Arthur Smith? I say he doesn't adjust well in the second half, and he still don't. He loves tight ends and he don't adjust second half. Jalen Miro still learning too. Yeah. Cousins gonna be a free agent. All his guaranteed money is up, but Atlanta don't know what they want to do. But I told y'all what y'all was getting in Arthur Smith. There's a reason why I don't want Arthur Smith back in Nashville. I just don't think he adjusts well the second half. Arthur Smith is definitely not my boy, though. He said Sam Howell is pretty oh my God, bro. Bro, if you sit here and like, ain't nobody on earth gonna ring the bell for Sam Howell, bro. Nobody. Like you could dress up a pig and put lipstick on it. It's still a fucking pig. Like, I don't want Sam Howell in Nashville. The hell is Sam Howell gonna bring out of Cam Ward? I ain't buying this one. This is one that I reject the deposit. I will not be sold. Fucking Sam Howell being a better option at backup to be a veteran mentor than fucking Mariota. They said Scotty Trippin said he wants to come out of the closet. Hey, it's a safe space, Scotty. I didn't know you were still living in the Stone Age where you needed to feel like you needed the green light to have some friends and some homeboys to come out the closet too, bro. It's okay. We're not phobic of you and your alternative lifestyle, bro. We love you all the same. Justin Fields to Nashville? No. Justin Fields can stay wherever he's at. Great guy. Hey, Scotty, have a blessed day. I'm gonna look in the camera and say, nigga, find you somebody to play with. Have a blessed day, bro. Interview Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, I seen it. I know it's Cliff Kingsbury, better not have my boy out there trying to run too damn much. Man came in trolling and telling me not to be disrespectful. I'm being respectful. I tell you have a blessed day. If you keep trolling after I tell you have a blessed day, then what I say after that, then it really shouldn't even matter. You know you're dealing with a kid when you tell somebody have a blessed day and they still continue to troll. Put it in context. Cam has been under a bad system, so has Sam Howell. It's not a sales pitch, but I can respect your stance on Mariota. I think Sam. I don't. I think like, if you know the person who Cam Ward is and know how his mentality worked, Mariota was a Heisman player. Mariota was dynamic. He's a person that turned the Titans franchise around when he was picked in 15. He was also the first top pick that the next year they had a first round pick that they traded back out of, and Derrick Henry showed up. You know, it's like he been through the same thing. He's just took another top first round pick in Jaden Daniels. They went to the NFC Championship his rookie year with him being the backup, helping him mentally be able to see the game. I think with Cam Ward, if you ain't no dog, I don't think he gonna have much respect for you. I can see Cam Ward sitting in practice, going over film with Mariota and having respect and listening to what he say. I think if you put Case Keenum or Sam Howell or Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian, or Brandon Allen in there and they talking to him, I think Cam is saying it's going in one ear and out the other. The type of person Cam is gonna have to be somebody like established for him to even pay you any attention. I just don't see Cam Ward listening to what Sam Howell is talking about. I think if you put a 32-year-old Marcus Mariota in the quarterback room, I think Cam would listen to him more. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's just like a cut and dry and as simple as I could put it. Like if you like look at the makeup of Cam Ward and how he goes in his approach to certain things, like That's what you see his mental makeup is like. He had to see something to respect it. He said Justin Fields is buns. Jets with 0 interceptions is crazy. Then too, like the Titans have to do this thing where, like, you need somebody who has a similar skill set to run a certain offense. So you need somebody that's more of a playmaker or more of that dynamic type of person to be in the room. You can't have like flat-footed, non-athletic, non-gunslinging quarterbacks playing. Like you see how bad Brandon Allen looked trying to run the same. Like it's 7-0 Titans. And Brandon Allen come in and 41 unanswered points, and he's like just freaking out. Like you've been in the league for 10 years and you freaking out in the pocket, bro. Like I'm good on that. I'd rather have a backup that understand big moments. That can help calm him down or talk him through something in the huddle. It said Cam ain't been listening to no damn Brand. What clip have you seen Cam Ward even mention Brandon Allen? I don't even think you could find a picture of Cam Ward with Brandon Allen. You see what I'm saying? Like at what point in this season, preseason, off season, in the middle of a game, I've never seen Brandon Allen talking to Cam Ward ever. I mean, realistically, we can say I don't. Brian Callahan wasn't even there long enough to even talk to Cam Ward. So like I don't think Cam ever had listened to Brandon Allen. I think that was more of the point. Like when they asked him like who has he been having to lean on to go back and forth about stuff, he said nobody. You remember that press conference when PK asked him that and he said nobody? And they made a big piece about Cam saying he didn't have anybody to go back and forth with about like it'd be different if his like that's Flacco or somebody like an older QB for him to say, man, yeah, I went I had Flacco to go bounce some stuff back and forth with. Cam Ward said nobody. The meaning like nigga Brandon Allen ain't out there helping him do shit. That's why I say like Mariota is 32 years old. He'll be the perfect backup. Ravens, Joe, what up? And then if you telling me they interview Cliff Kingsbury and Cliff Kingsbury get the job, you don't think Mariota is going to come with Cliff Kingsbury? I don't think they're going to hire Cliff Kingsbury, but you know, if they did, you got to put yourself in their mind of like, I watched the games, been to the games. There was turnovers. Cam was committed. Cam related point, go to the tablet and play sheet with Brandon Allen. I'm saying like, where does Brandon Allen, like when has Cam said, man, Brandon Allen really helped me see the game? We seen how Brandon Allen looked in preseason. We seen how Brandon Allen looked Sunday. He's a deer in headlights. He's always been a deer in headlights. He came and he's supposed to have been teaching Cam a sped up version of Brian Callahan's offense. Brian Callahan was gone by week 3, week 4 as far as play calling and game planning. So like I said earlier this year, I don't know if y'all remember, I said what they need to do is they need to get rid of Brandon Allen. And then somebody was like, well, Trevor Siemian, like, listen, man, it's like, bro, we need a serious veteran in the room to help Cam Ward. There ain't none. Like, what can Cam Ward learn from Brandon Allen, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian? Like, in high school, he was better than him. Because Brandon Allen was supposed to be helping Cam Ward learn Brian Callahan's system. And Brian Callahan's system was pretty much out the door in week 3 or week 4. It's already, I mean, Cam said in preseason that the offense was mid, meaning, man, I don't like this shit. Callahan didn't want to run RPO. They started running a little RPO late in the season. It worked. Like, they running a bunch of bubble screens to Tyler Lockett and throwing 10 passes a game behind the line of scrimmage. Like, I'm saying, I just think it would make more sense if you brought in somebody who Cam Ward actually could learn from. Talking to them on the sideline with like every blue moon, he's got a Surface Pro going over the look that they practice. He doing his job. I'm talking about somebody that could come over here and really show him the game. Somebody that behind the scenes could come to his house and they could sit down and watch some tape and could learn something from. He can't learn them from them niggas. There's nothing they could teach him. It's like at least Shador had Joe Flacco for a month or two. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. You could say I could say Joe Flacco could teach me some shit. I'd listen to Joe Flacco. It just in certain situations, like it just ain't nobody there. Like Brian Callahan was supposed to be that guy. Like we trust in Brian Callahan, Bo Hardegree, Mike McCoy, Brandon Allen, Tim Boyle, and Trevor Siemian supposed to help Cam Ward. Help him do what? Loaf and say, let's go Steelers. I mean, I should have lost last night. But I won, but then again, since the Ravens choked and cost us a 4th round pick, I didn't want the Steelers to lose because I ain't got nothing against the Steelers. I wanted the Ravens to win so we could get a 4th round pick. And the kickers messed it up. But Kong, it's all love and respect. I just think we disagree on that. Like I'd rather them have somebody come in that he could actually learn something from. I don't think he could learn nothing from them guys. Because the people that those guys, like if that's the case, like if we talking about somebody competing and pushing Cam Ward, let Will Levis come back next year and push him in camp, and then let Will Levis play good and then trade him for a better draft pick. Shows how bad it was with Brian. He probably should have never been hired. The thing about Brian is, it's not that he shouldn't have been hired. It's that who in the front office thought that it was a good job or a good idea for him to hire his dad, his best friend, and a bunch of people that never done the job before. That's what kind of throw me off about the whole Callahan hire. Imagine if we did it again and Bergonzi was here instead of Rand and Chad and said, look, you can, if you're going to play call the first time, I need somebody that was a former head coach as your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinator. Even though I thought Denard Wilson did a great job. And Colt Anderson, as bad as he was, imagine if Brian Callahan came in and whether he's going to call plays or not call plays, if let's say you had like a Jim Schwartz or somebody was running the defense and you had Daboll or Stefanski or somebody as the OC. Like that's what Vrabel did. Like McDaniel has been a head coach before. Not a good one, but he has been one before. So your offensive coordinator is somebody who's been a head coach that can handle it. Like they like the Spider-Man meme when it's like Colt Anderson had the special team so bad in year one that I remember at the end of the season, an announcer said, as a statistic, the Tennessee Titans could kick the ball out of bounds and do an illegal procedure and they would have better defensive field position than their kickoffs. Like I just remember it being so many people muffing punts and fumbling punts and kickoffs, and they couldn't get nobody to field, not return. They couldn't even get nobody to field the punts and the kickoffs. Like we had like multiple punts blocked. We got a punter injured for the season. Like the special teams was awful with Colt Anderson, which would help a young quarterback and a new head coach with field position and getting some plays on special teams and flipping the field and making field goals and stuff like that. Like that's one thing he would have had less to worry about if he had a head coach at defensive coordinator. You know, like the Commanders when they had Dan Quinn come in and Cliff Kingsbury running the offense, who's been a head coach before. You got somebody that on a tough week when you need the game plan harder for something else, that person gonna take care of it. They just didn't have nobody in the building that had done it before. So it's like Brian Callahan, that kind of was like a red flag that they should have seen coming. Steelers had no business winning. That's more than what Tannehill did for Malik Willis. Remember when Tannehill was asked to help him, said it wasn't his job. Yeah, and it wound up being one of the reasons why Tannehill, nobody ever reached out to want him to come play for them, because you can't be 35 years old coming off a high ankle sprain saying you don't want to train the guys behind you. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point. He's like, talk about Peyton Manning and people calling him. I don't think he want to talk to them niggas, bro. Ravens lost in devastating fashion the last 3 years. They really have. I understand your point, to be honest. I'm just being objective. I love your takes, though. Oh, for sure, man. A lot of people can't handle that. Like, if we disagree and go back and forth, that I like that. I like a person that push their own narrative or their own perspective and then go back and forth. Like, that's how, we get to the truth. I think we need people doing that in the front office and in the media in Nashville, to where who didn't question a head coach hiring their best friend and their dad? Like, can you push back? You know what I'm saying? Like, if Callahan says, I got it this week, and Nick Holz is like, well, we're best friends. Like, nah, hey, that game plan is stupid, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, hey, bro, call timeout, man. We on the 7-yard line against the Broncos, and we got the lead. Man, run the ball, take it to half, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff, the mistakes that Callahan made is just like, if you got somebody with a backbone around you, they're not going to let you do that. He said Ravens should have been a top 3 team. No, they shouldn't have. They had too many injuries, and they still don't have a number 1 receiver. It just wasn't the Ravens' year this year. DK is dope. Yeah, he tough. Honestly, I wish Henry would come back. I hated when people in our fan base kept telling him to ring chase the Ravens, and now look, he's having record-breaking seasons. That's a miss on so many. Like, most of the Titans media kept saying that Henry was tank was empty, and they kind of pushed him to go, and then we didn't get nothing back from him. Like, when the Panthers let Christian McCaffrey go, they got a boatload in a trade. We got nothing in trade. We basically let him walk for free, and then he walked right into the Ravens. 1,900 yards last year, 1,500 yards this year. It's like, it sucks pretty bad. Probably Rand and signed off on that because Brian and Rand were friends before he was hired, so it was really a buddy system. See, they got too enamored with Mike Vrabel was too tough and he was rolling with an iron fist, and that they wanted a more lighthearted locker room and organization, and to see what got them, they're fucking soft, and they didn't have anybody pushing back. Because I mean, Rand's 2 big deals was Rand spent money in free agents to try to fix everything, which was Cushenberry, L'Jarius Sneed, Cheeto Bell-Wouzier, and Calvin Ridley. He tried to spend a bunch of money to fix it, and it didn't work. And then he wanted to bring in the friendly face higher, and it didn't work out. And then, for Chad Brinker to be there alongside that, saying that he didn't like the moves that Rand make. Well, you should have raised hell when he said, look at the coaching staff. Like, that's why if somebody wants McCarthy or Nagy or Stefanski, I don't want those guys, but I'll be okay if they say they got a good coaching staff coming with them. The problem is, if you go with a young guy, the young guy's got to lay out his coaching staff on who he's bringing with him. And if you're going to have a young coach, you need some people on his staff to be highly tenured guys that can step in and help and make decisions at some points. Titans build through free agency draft. For one, the Tennessee, what free agent would want to come to Nashville? That's one. 2, George Pickens ain't leaving Dallas. The next 2 receivers is Alec Pierce and Romeo Doubs. I'm not giving one of them $20-25 million. Tariq Woolen, Boy Mafe, Kayvon Thibodeau, Breece Hall, Isaiah Likely, Kyle Pitts, Adafe Owe, Trey Hendrickson, Max Crosby if he wants to get traded. You just look at the names that's out there. Jalen Phillips. Who's leaving any of those teams to go? Wyatt Teller. Like, why would you want to come to Nashville? So Tennessee Titans got to build through the draft. In 2015, they drafted Mariota first. In the 2016 draft, they traded their first overall pick to the Rams. The Rams drafted Jared Goff. The Titans got Derrick Henry and some more goons that year. And look what that turned into. Like, if you're the Tennessee Titans, you got to build through the draft, especially after Bergonzi had a draft this year like he had. You got to expect Titans is picking 4, 35, 66, 101, and then they're going to have 2 5th rounds and 2 6th rounds, and then the 7th, and then it's potential that they could still trade Will Levis. They still could trade Xavier Woods. It's some people that they still could move. You know, if somebody wanted to take a shot at Tony Pollard, it's some people that they could trade. I don't think L'Jarius Sneed and Calvin Ridley are tradable because nobody would want to take on their money. But, you know, it's like Titans gotta have a lot of draft picks. They got 120 plus $1 million in cap space, but they should spend those caps on supplemental players. Like, if the Titans get somebody big in free agency, they're gonna be like,
Let me teach you
coming
how
off
to
of gambling
vibe.
suspension, coming off of a bad injury, facing legal trouble. You know, like no big name elite free agent is saying like, hey, my first choice to my agent is to go to Tennessee. I don't mind them interviewing Nagy. I want to hear what his plan is. I do blame the media for that one. Imagine if he was still here, him and Cam might have a better connection. No disrespect to Pollard, the Memphis guy, but he's not a workhorse like Henry. Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry was the heart of the Tennessee Titans, and to see him go and still ball out and have 100 yards at halftime and in season finale like he did, in the type of player he is and the type of person he is, it's tough to see him go, but you know, it is what it is. That's par for the course for the Titans. It was like that with McNair. It was like that with Mason. It was like that for Javon Curse. It's like that for every Tennessee Titan player. They never start and end. I think what's his face? Derek Morgan probably was one of the only. Blaine Bishop, Derek Morgan. I can't think of many people that started and ended with the Titans without them letting them go and come back and shit on us with another team on a revenge tour. Most of the fan base would have flipped if they would have traded Henry at that time. Think later on they said Ravens offered a third during the season, but that's because the Ravens didn't have any money. If you remember, the Ravens had spent all their money on Odell Beckham, so they didn't have much capital to even move to take a shot at Henry. The problem is, if you get to a stage, you have to do with Derrick Henry what they did with Jeffrey Simmons, which is say he's the cornerstone of the future for us. We're gonna ride with Derrick Henry regardless. So when he was a free agent and his time was up, if you ran in John Robinson when they was there before, you got to come to Derrick Henry and say, we're gonna extend you, and we don't want to let you become a free agent. We're going to go ahead and pay you, so that if somebody wants to go after Derrick Henry that next year, they're going to have to give up draft capital. When you mess around and don't extend him early, that's the purpose of giving people extensions when they're still good players. You extend them so that if you trade them, then you get money back. You know, like the Cowboys, you know, they traded Micah Parsons on a franchise tag. I mean, like, just think about it. The Cowboys didn't give up much for George Pickens, but you know, you got to get something out of him. What did we get to knock the Jaguars out of the playoffs that year? To let Derrick Henry walk and get nothing? Upshaw, what up? One of the few really begging not to trade Henry, let him walk. It stings to this moment. It's already been 2 seasons without him. That's my thing when it comes to players. If you don't know that you can fill the hole with a better talent, extend them early. It's cheaper. It's what the Eagles did. The Eagles extended Devontae Smith early. They always extend their people early. Good teams extend their people early. The Chiefs always have extended Mahomes early. Extend your people early and don't wait till you try to play hardball. You play hardball, you usually get burned. Like just like Chig, like I thought they should have did a team friendly extension on Chig to give him a little bread to stay. The same with NWI. Like it's cheap to give those guys some guaranteed money that ain't been getting money like that. You know, NWI was an undrafted free agent. Chig was the last pick in the 4th round. If you come to him preseason and say, look, you made $6 million in 4 years. We're going to give you $10 million and $6 million guaranteed over 3 years or over 2 years. And let's just see where it go, like kind of a prove it situation. That way, if you do trade them, you get bread back. If we let Chig walk and we don't get anybody in free agency and we spend a draft pick on another tight end, because then you'll just have Gunnerham and DMR under contract next year. You still got to get 2 more tight ends because we don't run fullbacks. Udoka went to the Patriots, so you'll be in a situation where you remember a few years ago we paid Austin Hooper $6 million and Jeff Swain $3.5 million. So now you spend $10 million on Jeff Swain and Austin Hooper. You're gonna be in a situation where if you would have did it early, you could have gave Chig $4-5 million this year, and then you're gonna wind up getting some 8-year veteran tight end with less talent if you can't get the guy you want in the draft, if you don't go ahead and extend him early, or if you wait late and hit the market and he wind up costing you more like most teams do. Like the same should have been for Derrick Henry. Let's just give him a big extension, give him an incentive laden stuff, like if he hits certain metrics that he gonna get extra bread, and that way if we do trade him, or we just don't let him walk for nothing, because he ain't gonna he's not gonna say no to the guaranteed money, not knowing what he gonna get in the off season. Yo, ESPN, what's poppin', my boy? Blaine Bishop was your guy, the Hitman. Trade down on the 35th pick. I think you gotta, like, I've done so many mocks that the Titans have to look at every available option. I mean, if you at the 4th pick, either you pick an edge or you trading back. All right. The same would be when you get to pick 35. If you go from pick 35 to 40 and you picking up another third, like we did last year with Kevin Winston, it's worth it. Because the Titans have way too many holes, and I just don't see them being able, especially with them not even knowing who the coach is right now, to bank big splashes in free agency. It just hasn't worked for us recently. I think you got to get as many top 100 draft picks as possible and just load up in draft capital, and then get you some supplemental free agent guys and let the money roll over. I would go ahead and extend Jeffrey Simmons and Skoronski. And then I would be saying, if some teams suck next year, or they have some people that don't come to terms, boom, we got the bread to go get whoever we can out there if our roster looking a certain way. Cause you gotta remember, like, Arden Key got like $8 million this year, and Draymond Jones got 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got some people that you like, wait, they making that much? You see what I'm saying? Like, L'Jarius Sneed had a $76 million deal. Cheeto was getting 13. We cut $7.5 million for him to go play on the Ravens, only to trade Jarvis and Roger, and then be having to sign a bunch of guys off waiver. You don't really save money. You cut Cheeto for $7.5, and you save like $5 million or whatever cutting Cheeto. Then once you trade Jarvis and Roger, and you have to sign Womack and Baker Jr. and Amar Davis and Elam, you didn't spend that money back. Like, you got cheap on Nick Westbrook and didn't want to go ahead and extend him early. Then you paid $4 million for Lockett, and then he walked out halfway through the season. You're like, damn, you should have just spent half that money on Nick Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of, like, why not spend $3.5 million on Nick Westbrook instead of spending $4 million on Tyler Lockett for him to have 70 yards receiving in half a season? And we was giving him a lot of targets. It wasn't like Tyler Lockett wasn't getting target. Tyler Lockett was getting targets. Like, they was really throwing the ball at Tyler Lockett. Yeah, the market get pushed up when you wait to the last minute. Jeffrey Simmons is here. Harbaugh don't need to go. If Lamar don't get hurt, the Ravens is still in the playoffs. Consistent running game, but the running game is more coaching. When they decided to run the ball the second half of the season, they ran the ball. What's good, Pinky? Derek Mason, Steve Menair, Samari Rowe, all went to the Ravens. Yeah, and the Eagles too. The Eagles got a lot of our players over the years. They said, how would you fix the wide receiver realistically? Real easy. I draft let's say like people so high on Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate. I say no to both of them. Let me trade back and get like a Denzel Boston, a Jacoby Lane, a Dunker, Nick Harbor or somebody like that, and then get Zachariah Branch. I want young guys. I don't want to spend $25 million on Alec Pierce or Romeo Doubs. If I had to spend, if I got Doubs for a decent price, I'd take Doubs, but you got young guys, bro. Like, they didn't even realize that they needed to get DK and Aomana the ball to halfway through the season. So they got Restrepo on futures. Like, let's say you drafted like Denzel Boston and Zachariah Branch in a trade back, and you got them two plus Aomana and DK and Restrepo, and then you maybe brought Van Jefferson back to be the veteran in the room. Van Jefferson is wide receiver 5 or 6 and play special teams and block and do all kind of stuff. Like, that's a better look than trying to go out in free agency and thinking one guy in free agency is going to fix it, because one guy ain't going to fix it. Like, look at the Panthers. Like, Xavier Leggett, Jalen Coker, Tetroa McMillan, Horn, Jatavian Sanders. Like, them is all young receivers that they got. Like, that's how you got to go about it. JSN, Emeka Egbuka, Tez Johnson on the Buccaneers. Like, teams is getting young receivers that's stepping up and balling. Like, even the Patriots, Kayshawn Boutte and Pop Douglas and Mac Hollins was the guys that really pushed that offense, with Hunter Henry and Diggs being the veterans. Like, you might can spice a veteran in there, but the Titans gonna have to overpay if they get one. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the only problem with the Titans is if the Titans get a veteran at any position, they're gonna have to overpay. Like, to get Alontae Taylor or Tariq Woolen to leave the Saints and the Seahawks and come to Nashville, like, the bag is gonna have to be that much bigger. And I'm tired of the Titans being a bad team tax. Like, you just need to fix the way your team runs. Don't get me wrong, Ravens are always a tough team, but when Brian Billett, okay, if the Titans, those are fighting words. I don't take none of that personal. Like, that just means that we was a tough team. Nobody's saying that about us now. And that's the difference. Like, I want teams saying that we don't want to play the Titans because the Titans is tough. Right now, people is like, give us the Titans. That's an easy dub. Upshot, what up? 124 in cash space. Sounds like they're going after some free agents. They might land 1 or 2. Anybody blame the Ravens D about the game criticizing Lamar, which is ridiculous. No, I mean, it just wasn't their season. To me, when Lamar get hurt most of the season, come back, and then you miss a field goal that's a chip shot after all the off the field stuff with Justin Tucker in the offseason, it's like, yeah, it just wasn't their time. Yes, it's all about the draft, but I mean, look at the draft that Bergonzi had this past year. Cam Ward, Femi Oladejo, Kevin Winston Jr., DK, Aomana, Gunningham, Jackson Slater. They finally put Jackson Slater in the game. He put something good on tape. And then Marcus Harris probably was our best DB this year, if people being honest, at corner. And then Khalil Mullins finally got to do some short yardage work in the second part of the season, and he picked up several first downs being that short yardage back. You know what I'm saying? Coming off of a major injury that he had. So it's like, bruh, the Titans draft was good this year. Like, I don't want them to spend $82 million on Dan Moore because we paying a bad team tax. Look, the Jaguars just got their left tackle 3 years, $50 million. Like, we paying our center in free agency more than they paying their left tackle. That's the problem. Like, the Titans have to get Sebastian Joseph Days and Xavier Woods, Darrell Baker Jr., Cody Barton. Like, those are the guys, the Corey Levins, the Udos. Like, those are the guys that the Titans need to sign in free agency. Like, a bunch of those guys, Draymond Jones, Jahad Ward, like, those was the ones that played good in free agency. Van Jefferson has been serviceable. 1.6 million for Van Jefferson to do the input he had was good. My thought was, before you got the Van and before you got the Lockett, what if you would have just gave NWI $4 million a year? The money they gave Lockett, they should have just gave it to NWI. So then you would have had Calvin Ridley, NWI, A.O. Monter, DK, Restrepo, Van Jefferson. Like, that sounds better. Bryce Oliver. Like, that would have been better. Like, that's more of a better sounding receiving core than when Calvin Ridley go down, you got NWI, DK, and A.O. Monter out there. Like, that sounds better to me. And then you still got Van Jefferson, Restrepo, Bryce Oliver, James Prochet. Like, when you get down to the bare bones of there's a game where it's Van Jefferson and Mason Kinsey and you don't have nobody else elevated, like, they signed Lance McCutcheon, Hal Presley. Like, bro, who are y'all signing, bro, onto the practice squad? These guys ain't never gonna make it onto the field. So it's like the Titans have been signing free agents that are reaches that don't work, or guys who they selling in special teams. They need to start signing guys who they floor is special teams. This is a receiver that can block, catch, get open, and like Tyquan Thornton on the Chiefs is a good pickup. Jacoby Myers go to the Jaguars. Like, you see people pick up players that are free agents that wind up helping teams, but in Nashville, like, that just hasn't been the thing. They wind up getting taken for a ride. $76 million for L'Jarius Sneed to rarely ever play and have legal issues. Like, you know, Calvin Ridley's due $28 million next year. Even if he comes back healthy, like, Calvin Ridley is not a number one receiver that's $28 million. That ain't Jay Jettis or Jamar Chase or T. Higgins out there. Like, he's good, but really realistically, if Calvin Ridley was like a slot, you know, it's like as a motion guy and a move guy working on a second and third DB with a safety matching up on him, sometimes like Calvin Ridley would cook. But I just see, like, depending on him to be your number one, it's just not realistic. Titans got to realize they not the pretty girl at the end of the bar, or the pretty Corvette in the parking lot parked away from the other cars. Like, Tennessee Titans is a F-150 that you can put 500,000 miles on. Tennessee Titans is a Toyota Camry. May or may not have leather seats. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tennessee Titans is that solid 7 that gonna cook you a nice meal and be nice to your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, that's what the Titans is. So, you know, you want Kayvon Thibodeau, you want Boy Mafe, you want Adafio Way, you want Jalen Phillips. Reality is, like, I don't think you get one of those guys to come be an edge rusher in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think one of those top flight cornerbacks coming free comes to the Titans. I think, you know, you got to start just looking and saying, you know what? Who is the best 2 DBs out of all the free agent guys we got? Only Marcus Harris and Michael Robinson are under contract at corner next year. Hey, you know what? Let's bring those 2 guys back. Let's bring back Elam and Baker Jr. Armar Davis, if you want to be on the practice squad, and let's draft a couple guys and then get a couple veterans and then let everybody compete. You know, because from what they started the season with and what they ended, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got to do a lot in the draft, and in free agency they can't reach. They can't reach in free agency. Now, let's say the Bengals can't work something out, and you could get Trey Hendrickson that just needs to sign somewhere, and we give Trey Henderson the $20 million he's due from the Bengals. I'm fine with that. He'll be 32 years old. He'll be a good edge. It'll reduce the need for us to have to draft edge so high in the draft. You might get trade back, then you might feel more comfortable trading back. You trade out of number 4 and get enough to draft the best corner in the draft, and then, you know, 2 receivers later on with those picks that you get back from it. All right, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Titans can't just be sitting there trying to put duct tape on the side of the boat like most teams do when they bad. I got to see Mike on the field for the first time. Yeah, he didn't play bad. I mean, what Kamon Hall did the week before, I don't think we could get worse than that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, Legarius Need, alleged drive-by shooting. Cheeto is on the Ravens. Jarvis is on the Jets. Rodgers on the Rams. You know, Amar Davis is out for the season on IR. Womack got cut. You know, you just down bad. You know what I'm saying? When Marcus Harris goes on IR and you got Elam, Darrell Baker Jr., Kamon Hall. Like, bro, you in bare bones, bro. And most of the year they tried to play safeties at nickelback and it didn't work. It's like a team looks and says, "Oh, we got Quandre Diggs on our 4-2, 4-3 speed slot receiver." Like, it's finna get ugly. Since it will be tough to land top wide receiver free agents, would you be willing to keep? Really? No. I mean, he's gonna get $28 million if he stayed next year. If you cut him June 1st, I think the Titans save 16. You know, if he do come back healthy next season, like, do you think Calvin really worth $28 million against the cap? Me as a person, I'd be happy for him to get that money because he a Bama boy. You know, I ain't hating on somebody's financial thing, taking care of their family forever. God knows I wouldn't care what none of y'all say about me if I could go make $28 million playing receiver next year. But it's just to say that, like, I don't think that's it. I think you gotta kind of move fresh. Like, look at the Broncos when they moved on from Judy. You know, it's like Judy was their best receiver. They moved on, and they young guys, Franklin and Mims, Sutton. You know, like, they got new guys that step up in the roles. I think the Titans could be like that because, I mean, Titans wouldn't even get an A.O. Monter and DK the ball early in the season. So if you come in with a thought of saying, like, we're going to draft a couple guys and pick up a veteran, if you look at the free agent list of wide receivers, we can go through them real quick. I can kind of show y'all what's on the market. That's a really good question too. Like, you could kind of look at what's on the market. I need to get a mouse pad. Bro, how did we get to fullback? All right, so Jalen Coker, I think the Panthers don't let him leave. George Pickens is not leaving Dallas. Like, Wan'Dale Robinson, market value is $15 million. Like, I don't see the Titans giving Wan'Dale Robinson $15-20 million. You know, you got Tyquan Thornton. I can see a guy like that. You know, he's a dunker. He's a downfield threat. 6'3", 6'4" type of guy. Not a wide receiver one, but a good guy to add to the room for cheap. He was playing in Kansas City for $1.1 million. Of course, we had Bryce Oliver here for all this time, and you know, Alec Pierce is looking at $20+ million. I don't think so. Now Doubs, you know, if his market value really was coming to the Titans for $12 million, I'd give Romeo Doubs $12 million. You know, he would be a 6'2", big frame, big body receiver. Dotson, no. Tutu Atwell, no, he's just another slot guy. Brown, no. You know, Jalen Tolbert, no. Calvin Austin, no. Jalen Naylor, no. Like, you look at the guys that's out here and available, and the type of money that they're gonna be after. Bro, why is it going backwards? Bro, like, what the I'm really starting to get irritated with this damn mouse. Shaheed is gonna be 28 years old, looking for 15 to 20 million. Jawan Jennings, 20 million plus. Marquise Hollywood Brown, Debo Samuel. I mean, Mike Evans will be out there at 33 years old. I don't see him leaving Tampa Bay. See what I'm saying? Like, when you look at the people available, like, look at the amount of money you're going to be spending on. Like, just go to the draft, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically, if Tyquan Thornton was cheap, you could add him to the room. Romeo Doubs, if he was gonna give you a fair price, but if you wind up spending 20 million plus for Romeo Doubs or Alec Pierce, man, you getting taken for a ride, in my opinion. That's just my opinion about it. I don't think they should go that direction. I think they should just go to draft. Like, if you're not gonna bring Chig back, I'd rather throw some money at Isaiah Likely or Kyle Pitts and put them with Gunnar Ham and run more tight ends in my system flex than because you know if you spent 10-12 million on Pitts or Likely, I'd much rather do that than spend $25 million on Alec Pierce. You know, people may disagree with that, but that's how I feel. I would rather do that than I would rather do that. But then again, in the late rounds, you might get a Joe Royer or a Marlon Klein or a Lawson Lucky. Might can get you one of them big 6'5", 6'6" tight ends in the late rounds like we did Gunnar Ham. So it's like, in reality, they could throw some money somewhere. I just don't see any of these big name guys wanting to come. We'll be lucky if we get some at edge, or we should be able to get some at corner though. You know, at corner we should have a better opportunity to bring some guys in. Like Wyatt Teller, this is gonna be Wyatt Teller's last contract. Like, is he want to leave Cleveland to come to Nashville? You know, like, some of these guys want to go on their last contracts. Once they hit 30, they want to go play for a contender. Like, right now, we're not a contender. Man, y'all got any more questions? That's an hour and 43 minutes in shop talk alone. We ain't even touched no. Remember, bro, y'all want to know something funny? From a guy that has made a name for himself playing John Madden football. It's like how this community has grown over the years in gaming. Yeah, it's rare that I even be on the game, and I apologize to some people that love to see me game and play games, but I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. Like, look at this. This is a LCQ that Wesley Clef, Chosen, Big Tay, Edgar, Delorio, D. Crawford, and Ron J is gonna play a live event for the LCQ. Like, nobody in my community even talks Madden or even cares what's going on with Madden in the Madden Bowl. Like, has EA burned the game to the ground so bad with these promos and these all team chems and these boosts and X Factor, Avalanche, Zero Chill? Like, has the game gotten in such a bad space that, like, people don't even care about Madden anymore? Like, when you turn on, like, your stream list, the list of streamers, like, Do you see anybody like loading up having fun playing Madden? Yeah, YUG, it's a lot of the free agents is either old or they guys that like you can't pay $20 million for a wide receiver too. Like last year, if Brian Callahan was still in Tennessee and they could not convince T. Higgins to take the money to come to Nashville, like if you're in situations where former coaches can't get their guys there to say you're gonna be the focal point, you can be wide receiver one, you can get 10 targets a game with the number 1 overall pick. If you can't get T. Higgins there, then like, why would you turn around and get the money you was gonna give to T. Higgins to Alec Pierce or Romeo Doubs? That doesn't make sense. Like, if you thought you could get George Pickens and you could handle him, you would throw whatever money at George Pickens you could, right? But the reality is, he's not coming to Nashville. You see what I'm saying? Like, we'll be the last pick. We'll be the last kid on the playground. So it's like in these situations, like they just got to be smart. Like they realistically have to get guys that want to be here, right? So when we got Ernest Jones here, Ernest Jones is a really good linebacker. We traded him. Draymond Jones is a really good edge, and we traded him. So it's like when you do convince guys to come here and you trade them off, that starts to be that sentiment out there that like free agents don't really look at, like, are not gonna buy. I'm coming to help rebuild this young team, and then you're gonna get me here and trade me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but look at where they went to. Ernest Jones went to the Seahawks. Draymond Jones went to the Ravens. Like when we did bring these guys in and deal them, when D-Hop left us and went to the Chiefs and went to the Super Bowl, then went to the Ravens, like these guys leave here and have better situations. So that's why I say, like, you know, for head coaches and special teams guys, they gotta want to be here. It can't be we just offering the most amount of money, because in those cases, like, we've got less effort. It was funny because I seen like on Twitter PK saying that Sneeze said he was gonna come back and talk to him and he left. Oh, I thought that was funny. Like, he never did come back so I can ask him about his drive-by shooting, allegedly. Bruh said, I got y'all. I'll be back in 1 minute. Sit tight. Hey, Legarius Sneed gave him that police officer when he tapped the top of your car. Sit tight. You know what I'm saying? He told him to sit tight. Sneeze not coming back in so y'all could grill him on a bunch of questions about his legal issues, which I hope he's exonerated. If he didn't do it, I hope he's I hope he gets his innocence, and everybody who cracked jokes would apologize. Becker, you got what you wanted. Gannon got fired today. They're talking about moving Kyler Murray. I know you happy. There you go, Becker. Kyler Murray, Jonathan Gannon gone. Are you happy today? Did you get what you wanted, sir? Oh, Becker, you got what you wanted, huh? Becker, you got what you wanted, huh? Christmas came 2 weeks later. Yeah, Amazon got your package lost in the mail. Who gonna come coach y'all? Raheem Morris? Stefanski? What y'all gonna do with Kyler? I've been on record saying I think that the Indianapolis Colts, since they don't have a first round pick and they don't have any QBs under contract, should try to work something out and get Kyler Murray off the Cardinals. There would be an immediate solution to the Colts' problems, and they could figure things out later because it would get him a veteran quarterback that needs a fresh start with some talent. I don't see a world where Daniel Jones is a bigger quarterback, but it's the same skill set. An athletic QB that can make throws on the move. He's a gunslinger, so like I could see Shane Steichen getting Kyler Murray to the Colts. No on Stefanski, too many links with Salah, McCarthy, Kubiak. Because I mean, think about it. Like, let's say the Colts say they're gonna send y'all Anthony Richardson to the Cardinals, and then the Cardinals are gonna send Kyler Murray over, and then that alleviates the Colts not having the Colts could send y'all like a second or a third round pick for Kyler and take on the money, because it's mostly the bread for y'all. Because I think if Kyler Murray makes it to March, he get an extra bonus. Like, the Colts could take on his salary. Then y'all would have Anthony Richardson, and then a chance to go after another quarterback in the draft, or put another veteran out there with him, and then start that way. I don't know. Chris Bell, Elijah Surratt, Malachi Fields. To be honest with you, bro, like, I'm not sold on Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson if the Titans picked at 4. So if they traded back out of 4, if they don't like an edge, and let's say, or they traded out of 35, let's say they traded out of 35 and do like they did last year, drop to like 45 or 50 and pick up extra third. Now, if you told me because of his injury, you got Chris Bell in the late second, or you got Surratt at the top of the third, and you still got like Zachariah Branch too. Like, if you was to trade back and get like Chris Bell, Surratt, Jeremy Bernard, Jacoby Lane, Denzel Boston, or Chris Brazel from Tennessee, and match one of them up with Zachariah Branch, like another twitchy guy. Like, I think you got to get 2. Or let's say they traded back and they was able to get Chris Bell in the second, or Surratt, and a tight end like Joe Royer or Eli Stowers or Marlon Klein, Lawson Lucky, dealt like a big fizz, like they got to get multiple pieces. I hope the Titans take another running back in the late rounds, like Texas San Antonio's Henry, or Raleek Brown, or Nick Singleton. Like, give me a late round back. I need multiple receivers in the draft and multiple corners and an edge. If they do go offensive guard, Basantis or Pregnon, I ain't mad. Whatever they do with Kyler Murray as it get done before the 5th day of the league, New Year, which is like March 17th before it's. Yeah, if y'all get to March, mid-March, he gonna take y'all for a ride. But Becker, if I was y'all, I'd be on the phone with the Colts. Because it got to be a team that could use Kyler Murray. Or if you're the Raiders and you don't believe in Fernando Mendoza or Moore, if you're the Raiders, if you trade it back, I don't know, got a boatload for your number 1 pick and then did some other options, I don't know. Ravens need to get Flores from the Vikings. Titans need to get Flores. Vikings could be a team. I think Colts and Vikings is 2 good suitors for Kyler Murray. Send Kyler Murray to the Vikings. Or the Colts. I think those are two good spots. Man, I re-downloaded Cyberpunk, y'all. I don't know if this game got like audio stuff that messes up streams. I might try it on the green and the purple. Yeah, I wanted them to interview Flores, but I mean I understand him. Vance Joseph do have a top defense too, so. Mm-hmm. So that would be a good solution. Like Cardinals could call the Colts and the Vikings and see what's up with Kyler Murray. Try to get him moved before his bonus kick in. Dream scenario: Saleh or Flores as head coach with Dabo as LC. That's tough. New DC is a must, at least for the Ravens, for real. Y'all might, if the Titans get rid of him, y'all might bring Denard Wilson back. How about Malik to the Colts or Cards? I can see him on the Colts. Doug Peterson is OC. That's interesting. All right, y'all. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, that's almost 2 hours on the Shop Talk. Make sure y'all do me a favor and y'all comment on those YouTube videos and y'all liking and y'all sharing. It would do so much for the channel. All the conversations that we have in the Discord and in the streams, if y'all could continue those conversations on the YouTube videos, I would be greatly appreciated. I try to put the shorts out and the highlights and all those things in compressed form and pictures. Just engage with me in 26, man, and I love y'all back for it. Give me a 60-second reset on Kick and Twitch. We're gonna continue, so if you're not following on Kick, it's Shotbybuddha Kick. You can do picture in picture. We can turn on music. We do a lot. I'm gonna try to mess around with Cyberpunk. I ain't played this game. I paid for it in 2020, but I never played this game, so I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit tonight and do what we usually do in the late night streams, and because you know we be hanging out late night, but we can't do music and things like that on YouTube and Facebook. So y'all give me a 60-second reset, man. God first in the chat, and I'll catch y'all in 60 seconds.